everyone, and welcome to another episode of ATCW Live. I am your host, the golden tongue of ATCW, Evan Wade, and here to my right, living up to his namesake last month, counting the 1, 2, 3 for us in the main event, the Swiss Army knife, Dennis Williams. Dennis Williams, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Evan. Thank you for that very kind introduction, and I hope you're doing well, too. Let me take a quick second to expound upon what you just said. So, you know, I am an official here in ATCW, but I'm moving on from that into this commentator role. And but my license is still good, which it will be for life as long as I'm with ATCW. So the main event, the 3 Stages of Terror match between Tomahawk and Grizzly O for the ATCW Heavyweight Championship. Man, they went through a war, and it had to end. Both referees that we had for the event were knocked out of it, and I had to do something. I couldn't just let it go on, you know. So I went in. I'm still licensed. I did the 3 count. However, next show, you know, that's not happening. I'm doing my new job, which is to help tell the stories here in ATCW and let you guys know what's going on. And that's exactly what I'm going to do come May 20th.
That's right. ATCW King of the Mountains coming to you live from the Lee Town Community Center in Carneysville, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock. Doors at 6:30. And Dennis, what do you say we get right to it, man?
Let's get right to it, man.
Let's do it. The first contest we're going to talk about, the Cruiserweight Championship, is on the line. AK defends against Axel Crow. Last month, AK regained his Cruiserweight Championship in a 5-way, that's right, 5-way ladder match. And Axel Crow had one heck of a showing in that match, looking to take that title from AK. Dennis, can you tell us a little bit about Axel Crow?
I sure can, and I definitely agree with you about, because I definitely thought there for at least a couple minutes that Axel was the guy that was going to get that belt. I really did. So Axel Crow, believe it or not, I was actually able to have a little bit of a conversation with the guy. And, yeah, I know, it's shocking.
Really?
I know,
Oh, wow.
right? But, and basically what I was able to glean from him is he's a child of abuse. And his family owned a carnival, which they nicknamed the Carnival of Souls. And they were, unfortunately, abusive parents. But Axel was looking forward to getting away from that, and then, unfortunately, his parents passed, and he inherited the Carnival of Souls. And he still operates it, even though I believe he feels a little trapped doing so, because he did want to get away, but got pulled back in there. Axel is a very interesting competitor because he does not really care about winning a championship. And this is an exact quote, ladies and gentlemen. He said, "I don't care about the belt up there. I care about the souls that I will be collecting and bringing back to the carnival." Now, honestly, Evan, that gave me some goosebumps, right? And that was kind of evident. He did try to go for the belt, but overall, he was just trying to deal out some damage. And when you step into the ring with a guy like this in an environment like that, it's very, very chaotic. Isn't even really a good term to describe it. It really isn't. But this isn't a 5-way ladder match now. This is one-on-one.
Absolutely right. AK is looking to keep that Cruiserweight Championship steadily around his waist. Last month, he was looking to regain favor with the Shepherd Tomahawk by winning the gold, and he did just that.
He did. So now he's back on top of the Cruiserweight division, and he is back in favor of the Shepherd. And you know, this was the most important thing to him the last time. It wasn't really winning the championship. It was getting back in favor with the Shepherd. So basically, at this point, here's what we've got. We've got 2 guys that, do they really care about the championship? Or do they just care about defeating each other because of the individual boosts that it will give them? I'm really looking forward to this match, Evan, due to these 2 men's mindsets. And when they collide, we should have fireworks. And I'm not talking about little here. I'm talking about a grand finale of fireworks when these guys finally lock up.
That's right. We're looking forward to an ATCW King of the Mountains May 20th. Our next contest, the Kings and Queens of Indie Wrestling Prince Championship, is on the line when defending champion Werewolf Creed goes one-on-one with Lestat. And as of right now, Lestat's strategy may be borderline brilliant. He's playing his cards close to his chest, not revealing a whole lot going into this matchup. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a brilliant strategy, and it's something that you have to do if you're going to go up against a guy like Werewolf Creed. Let's take a look at Werewolf Creed here for a second. He made his return to ATCW last month. He defended the Prince Championship quite dominantly, really. You know, Jimmy Alpha put up one heck of a fight, but Werewolf Creed was just too much for him at the particular time. Werewolf Creed has completely reinvented himself from top to bottom, down to the core. You know, he went off, spent some time with Grey Wolf Raventhorn, who taught him a new lifestyle, a new mindset, a new spirituality, and just a new way of living life. And that medieval lifestyle, you know, it's not for the weak. It's very, very, very strong. And you have to be a strong person in order to be able to live that kind of lifestyle. And he does. I mean, he lives it through and through. And I think it's been the greatest decision probably that he's made in his career, because look where it's gotten him. I mean, it's gotten him exactly where he wanted to be. He's now at the level of greatness. He's not just at goodness anymore. He is up to greatness now. So if I was stepping into the ring against him and I was challenging him, knowing all of this about him, I would not really have revealed that much about myself. I really wouldn't. You know, you can go out, you can watch tape, you can do some research, but, you know, seeing a guy talk, seeing a guy try to talk down to you really shows you a lot about that person, right? And so I think that this is a brilliant strategy on Lestat's part, keeping his cards close to his chest, like you said, and kind of really giving a surprise to Werewolf Creed.
Well, May 20th, we're going to find out, will Lestat dethrone the Prince Champion, Werewolf Creed? Up next, the ATCW Tag Team Championships are on the line when the new ATCW Tag Team Champions Willie and LA of the Radical Stars go 2-on-2 for the first time ever with 410 Massive. Andre Cash and RD Cordova looking to make a huge splash in ATCW.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Evan. And finally, tag team wrestling is back in the spotlight here in ATCW. For months, those titles sat vacant. And finally, last month, we were able to crown new champions. At first, well, it was the Roughnecks. However, LA Star had the golden ticket, and unlike a lot of the other competitors who have won that in the past, he decided to not be selfish with it and go after a singles title. He decided that he and Willie needed to be back on top, and they cashed in their opportunity. They had a rematch, which they won. I don't know how they won that match, but they won that match. And finally, tag team wrestling back in the spotlight here. If you don't know me very well, you won't know that I love tag team wrestling. I'm very, very, very passionate about it. And I'm a bit of a fan of the Radical Stars, too.
No.
Yes, I am. Now, I'm not an official anymore, so I can kind of be a little bit biased here and speak my thoughts a little bit, and I'm finally free to do that, and I'm happy about that. So we've got the Radical Stars, 3-time tag team champions, my opinion, the best tag team in ATCW. And the powers that be have gone out, and they have found this awesome tag team to be their first challengers. 410 Massive. Have you seen their stuff?
Mm-hmm.
My God. I've watched about 20 matches so far doing my research for our next show, and I'm going to be watching plenty more between now and then, and I was blown away by what I saw. Not only is this a great tag team, but they are a great pairing to have a classic matchup here. This one's going to go a half hour at least. I mean, I'm not kidding. Mm-hmm. It's going to go at least a half an hour. Two phenomenal tag teams clashing here in ATCW for the Tag Team Championships. I can't wait. Can you wait?
I cannot wait, and it's coming so soon. Next Saturday, May 20th at ATCW King of the Mountains Tag Team Gold on the line, baby.
Yes.
Up next, the ATCW Heavyweight Championship is on the line when El Oso Mafioso Grizzly O takes on the returning Mad Max Morrison. I am super excited about this one.
So am I, Evan. So Mad Max Morrison returning to ATCW here to be Grizzly O's first challenger. And based on what Mad Max said in his promo, I think he's coming here specifically to be Grizzly O's first challenger. And what a first challenger he's going to be. The guy's got a great moveset. He's got a great mindset. And he's a little unhinged, and that gives you a very unpredictable element to deal with. On the flip side of this coin, we have our new ATCW heavyweight champion, Grizzly O, finally dethroning Tomahawk. He chased him for almost a year in order to get another opportunity at that championship and to win it. And he did so last month. And I was so happy to see that. And I was so happy to be a part of that as well. Now, after the show, I did talk with Grizzly O just for a minute. He was in a bit of rough shape after that war that he had with Tomahawk, but he told me that he feels that in the past there's been a lot of champions here at ATCW that did not live up to the moniker of being a champion. Not only does he want to fulfill the moniker, he wants to be the absolute best. And here's an opportunity for him to prove it. Grizzly O, Mad Max Morrison. Is the wild-eyed headbanger going to thrash his opponent? Or is Mad Max going to get mauled by the Grizzly?
Well, you can't say it any better than that. May 20th, next Saturday, ATCW King of the Mountains, the heavyweight championship is on the line. Our final contest, the King of the Mountains Battle Royal, to determine the first ever King of the 304 champion. Dennis, can you tell us a little bit about this championship?
Absolutely. 304 is the area code here in Wild and Wonderful, West Virginia, and whoever wins this match is going to be king of the 304, as well as the surrounding area. The Open Challenge Championship, ladies and gentlemen, is being retired, and Black Hawk is going to make history as being the last man to hold that championship, so congratulations to him. And we are introducing this new championship. Evan, a wise man once said that you can always be the next champion, but there's only one who can be the first champion. And opportunity has been given out here to pretty much everybody in ATCW. And I know a few names have been announced. Evan, let's go over those real quick.
Let's, absolutely. Tremor has been announced. Ishman Martinez as well.
Oh, wow. That's interesting because I think once those two lay eyes on each other, the whole desire to be champion is going to be out the window, and it's just going to be fists.
I agree. Axel Crow has been announced.
You know, there's plenty of souls here for him to collect in this one.
The Hero Kid, Jimmy Alpha.
Well, Jimmy is on, let's see, we're up to 8 months now for the losing streak, Jimmy. And if there was ever a win to get you back on track, this is it, buddy.
Indeed, but he may have a little bit of a distraction in the weight of the world. Corey Bush.
Wow. So Corey's going to be getting in the ring and mixing it up here. And quite frankly, no pun intended here, but he has, I think, the largest chance of winning this thing.
Also announced Tomahawk and AK.
Well, that's a very interesting. So both these guys going to be in there together. You know they're going to work together. If AK is able to retain his Cruiserweight Championship, he will still be in the favor of the Shepherd. However, guys, the Shepherd has fallen, and I'm sure that's caused a lot of problems between the two, maybe. I think the focus here, though, is going to be on getting the Shepherd back up on top, and there isn't too many better ways to do that than to be the first ever King of the 304.
Amen. All of the House of Cross members have been entered.
All of the House of Cross, so is that including Jonathan Cross?
Well, actually, that hasn't technically been announced, but as we've seen at the November Rumble, I would not be surprised to see him enter this matchup.
Well, if he does, are you going to be okay with that?
I will do my best to behave myself.
I hope so. I hope so. Who else?
Well, we've got the ATCW Heavyweight Champion currently, El Oso Mafioso, Grizzly O.
Well, Grizzly would have an opportunity here to walk out with a lot of gold if he can defeat Max Morrison as well as pick up this victory. I mean, that's 2 belts right there for the big Grizzly, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Who else?
Your boys.
The Radical Stars?
The Radical Stars have been entered.
Well, that's awesome news right there. Yeah, that kind of jacks up my excitement there a little bit better. And honestly, you know, they'll want to work together, but I don't really have a favorite between the two. You know, just as long as one of them gets it, I'll be a happy guy.
Amen. So far, that's all the names that have come out, but I'm sure there are going to be plenty of surprises in this Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
Some wild cards to pay attention to. Saturday, May 20th, At King of the Mountains, we crown a brand new champion. Dennis, anything else you want to say?
That's it, man. Let's take it home.
Let's do it. We will see you. Bell time, 7 o'clock. Doors at 6:30. Do not miss it. King of the 304.